Hello everyone. How's everyone doing? Nice and loud? All right, I can see everyone. Welcome to the video game Jamz, opening of the Jam sessions. My name is Tolly B. I'll be facilitating things tonight. I see some familiar faces here as I look to my left. Welcome to everybody. We're going to have an interesting 1 hour. And I want to also start by saying all the best to those who are going to be pitching to us a little bit later on. A lot of people will never make it in a room like this in our country. You know, a lot of video game developers, fail because of skills, and beyond skills, is an issue of resources as well in our country. There are many reasons why people wouldn't be able to make it in a room like this, but you guys have made it this far, and all the best to you guys, and well done for being here. So the gems are used for many reasons here at Semologong. One, obviously, to make sure that we can get as much talent as we possibly can for the incubators. As I was saying, look at my left here, I see some very talented individuals over there. Some of you I haven't met, but I'm pretty sure, okay, I'm seeing some noise here, so there's a lot of talent on this side as well. Maybe some rivalry, because we are going to have some pitching that's happening a bit later on. But yeah, a lot of people won't make it in a room like this, and you guys have, and you guys should be very proud of yourselves. Some of the reasons why the jam sessions are there is just to make sure that highly potential, game developers and startups get the much needed support that they need. In many ways, really, whether it's resources and money and all that kind of stuff. A lot of bootstrapping in this industry, so a lot of people don't really have the means. Most people don't even have the means, even from at home, from a family point of view, the support structure, whether it be from a community point of view, and people to look up to and all that kind of stuff. So that's why we create things like this, to make sure that you guys have people to look up to, and yeah, you can bring your dreams to life and just go and conquer the world, right? And also to make sure that there's inclusivity, guys, to make sure that even people from previously disadvantaged neighborhoods and places can find themselves in rooms like this, to try and get as many black people involved as well in video games and in development, and for them being talents in a space like this. And to commercialize it all, guys, in an African sense, right? To make sure that your intellectual property, there's an issue of ownership and commercializing of what you guys do, and making sure that you guys can take it as far as you possibly can, right? So all of it is in your hands, and all the best to those who are, once again, who are going to be coming in front. We will hear from quite a few people. We'll hear from our sponsor, Matebe, a little bit later on. I see Robin is here. He's going to come in and chat to us as well. Leslie Downer-Williams, CEO, is also in the building. She's going to be coming through to chat to us, and of course we'll have those pitches, right? I understand there are 4 pitches that have been coming through. I actually have seen, I've been here before, and I've seen, I think 2 of the 4, and I have to say it's serious talent, guys, serious talent. So I will start, however, by calling the man who always gets a resounding applause every single time I mention his name, and I'm pretty sure that it'll be the same right here today, our creative director, Eduardo Cachucho.
Thanks, Tolly. Yeah, I think what you're saying is really important, and also is really reflected by a lot of the talks that's happened during Fakugesi. I think access to people is so important, creating different levels of access at different areas of the pipeline. There was a really interesting discussion this morning from a project called Every Game Accounts that's run by the Goethe and the German Federal Foreign Office. And the goal of that project is really to help change representation in video games. I think also Fakugesi's aim as a festival is really to take at its core African culture as a kind of starting point for digital innovation. And I think for me, I was really happy to see Fakugesi today, really. So today was our Family and Maker Day. So it was absolutely packed with families and children. And for me, that's so important, because those are the moments, I mean, we all know as children, the moments when you go to events and you see these things that kind of spark your imagination, and that allows you to start building an imagination, like world view in your brain about what you would like to do and what you want to build your future on being. And that's why I think it's really important for children to see these possibilities at a young age so that they can start constructing that as part of their worldview. That we all know it makes it much easier if you're starting to think through those things at an early age and see those things as possibilities. And I think another big theme that's run through the entire festival and the 2 days of conference discussions was also the fact that it's really important to build that worldview for women and LGBTQI plus people, because I think for, those people are even more marginalized. They can even less see themselves in these spaces and industries. And it's really important. I mean, I was saying to some people, I was really happy that all of our moderators for the Fakugesi conference elements were women, and the only man was myself. But being a queer person, I was like, okay, at least we're having a real, and we didn't really design it that way. It kind of just happened. But I think that's extremely important. And maybe that's another thing that also is extremely important, is community and supporting each other. I think it's really, really, really important that you come up and you show up for other people's events who are in your industry. If you're not supporting your own industry, there ain't going to be an industry. I mean, I must say. So you should be there for other people's talks, other people who are doing things in gaming that are interesting. Maybe it's not 100% aligned, but it's amazing actually what happens in the kind of talks that happen after those kind of sessions. You end up speaking with someone, making a connection, and it's amazing what happens over time. Those connections end up forming this intricate web. And I think coming from a festival, that's really what we're trying to do, is link people together, make sure that, those kind of ideas are connecting, because we can't all deliver and achieve everything. We can only do that together by kind of linking the parts that are the best of all of us. So yeah, I think from the Fakugesi side, we're very happy to have Jamz in this frame and to have it in the frame of the festival. And we're very excited to see what you're going to get up to. We're also really excited then that the winners for this will be presented at the Fakugesi Awards, which is the first of its kind awards on the continent to recognize excellence in digital creativity. So we're also really, pleased to be able to present the winners then at this awards. That will also show work from all over the continent. I mean, this is a South Africa only opportunity, but then the awards is a Pan-African opportunity. So also, please submit your projects for the Fakugesi Awards next year. We want to see the top work in the categories. We want young studios applying. We really want to create a space where we're awarding excellence in the area so that, again, young people can see what the possibilities are and where you can go. So yeah, I think that's it from me. Thanks.
All right, awesome stuff. So, looking around and I'm seeing some, is that a nervous face I see there? No, not nervous. He just goes, nah, no nerves here, man. A few people are going to pitch for us, and I'm not seeing any nerves. There's no nerves at the top here. He's smiling, he's okay, he's chilled. All right, I like this, I really do. All right, I did say that a couple of people will come and talk to us, and I think I'll give an opportunity right now to our CEO of the Tshimologong Precinct Innovation Precinct, Leslie Donna Williams. She's going to come through and just give us a quick chat as well. Let's give her a round of applause.
Okay, there we go. Cool. We can hear me. I'm excited. I'm excited about this. A lot has happened in the last year and a half in the video game industry locally, and I think in the corridors of Tshimologong. But I'll link it to one of our primary stakeholders who's been corporates over the past couple of years. And we have lots of chats with corporates, and they, right now what's key on their mind is like topics around fourth industrial revolution and digital transformation. Topics around like 21st century skills. Have any of you heard of 21st century skills before? Cool, okay, I'm saying the odd nod. Now, I'm naming that because these are conversations and lots of spaces are feeling stuck. And for me, when I contrast it to experiencing last year's game Jam, I realized we're not necessarily having these conversations in the video game industry, but we're living it and practicing it. And for me, there's like such an opportunity to showcase to other sectors, to other industries, how we naturally work. What I have seen come alive, which I think other sectors can learn from, is the extent of collaboration across interdisciplinary skills. I've seen it here like in no other place. I have seen that sense of deep technical skills and being able to bridge technical with relationships. But often people speak about like soft skills, which I can't stand because that's the hard stuff, because business partnerships fail because of these supposed soft skills that don't work. That's the hard stuff. Technical, you can always pick up in some way or form. New knowledge will always come and go. You always need to upskill yourself. But that able to blend that with being able to get things done together and actually stay in business with each other. That is, for me, again, like one of the things. I know we're going into a fun jam, but I just want to put it on the table already. Try to stay in relationship with each other in the tough times. We see it all the time at Simulokong. We are an incubator where teams fall apart, where video game teams fall apart, or you're not having the conversations about ownership. And I think, one needs to sometimes hold it lightly, this balance of holding it lightly and holding it firmly. Hold it lightly in the sense that know that your idea is not great unless you're executing. So your IP has zero value unless you're doing the work. And at the same time, having those conversations early enough so that you can create something of value. Now, for me, I'm very keen for us to create something of value. Video game industry this year is $95 billion industry. And as Africans, I want to see us win. I want to see us claim our stake in the sector. Beginning of this year, Simulokong launched, we delivered a report on the video game industry in South Africa. You can get it on our website. Here's the physical book. And the key thing is that we need to make sure that our talent stays at home, that you guys aren't leaving. I think, if you are leaving, go get experience and come back. But we need to scale teams. We need small teams to become bigger teams and deliver at larger scale. We need collaboration across the cities. Joburg, Cape Town, this crap about us competing needs to fall. Like we need density between us. I'm just trying to think, we need women to stay in the game. Now, last year I was quite excited because a all-female game team who were doing it as hobbyists were part of the top 3 winners, and we're incubating them at Simulokong now. Quite similarly, a team that was one of the winners last year basically premiered the game at Comic-Con 2 weeks ago and got audience feedback and implementing that. So we essentially want to give you a platform to live your best lives, to thrive, and help me have good conversations with your parents. Now, the reason I'm bringing parents into this is because for some or other reason, mothers especially have been reaching out to me a lot in the last 2 years, saying, oh my word, my kid does not want to be that corporate lawyer and we spend so much on the studies. Is this industry legit? Does my child have a future in this? And that I kind of balance out with a lot of people I know, or I'm constantly hearing stories anyway of someone who's building a game in high school with people in Kenya or in the US and earning in dollars. So you guys know the reality of what's possible. I think there's a lot of us in the older generation, including myself, that need to play catch up about what the possibility is. And Eduardo spoke about possibility. We need to showcase possibility. We need to do the work and tell the stories of doing the work so that we can normalize this. We need to put it out there. I think there was one more thing I wanted to say without sounding too preachy. Apart from me yes, this is it. I think, this thing can only go as far as our imaginations allow us to. In the last week, I spent some time on Robben Island and I met with some political prisoners, and I was looking at the state of the archives of the prisoners. And I mean, these guys are emotional because many of them are dying. Many of their story is not being told with integrity. And then suddenly we had, in the panel I was hosting, we had gamers and VR experts showing how you can tell a story using the skill set in an authentic, integral way. And many of the political prisoners came and thanked me and thanked my panel because we're doing important work and we're telling their story in a way that will be cherished for life. So, like I say, you can look to the past for inspiration, and you can also be futuristic. You can even take the past into the future. So don't limit yourselves. Like, we need your excellence out there. Like, I want to go to market and create market linkages for you guys. So stay in the game and, yeah, let's do this. Thank you.
One more time for Leslie Donna Williams. Just about time then for things to go down. Listen, I came here, it must have been beginning of this year or late last year, I don't remember when it was, and we had a masterclass on effective communication with some of the guys at the incubator here, because we knew that days like this will come. And days like this is just a start. I mean, are you doing this under your own roof? You are very familiar with these walls, and as you heard from both Eduardo and from Leslie, is that it's just all about your imagination. It's how far you can take it really belongs to you, right? You will find yourself, and some of you probably have already, find yourself doing these pitches elsewhere in the world, in Africa and elsewhere in Europe and in America and everywhere else. And this is where it starts. So I do hope that you guys remember some of the stuff we spoke about when I came here, but also I do know that some of you would probably even be much better than the last time when we spoke, because I could see there was a lot of potential. So beyond just the creativity that you guys showed, there was a lot of presence and confidence that I saw as well. So, and I'm pretty sure that's what we want to see today as well. You guys are storytellers, so please do take us through your story. Remember that you know it more than we do. So you just gotta make sure that we get to understand it as well as you're pitching to us. All right, so you know it more than we do. So just everything that we spoke about the other time, and just remembering that there might be someone who's hearing it for the first time. And also forget that this is under your own roof. This, you know what I mean? There's people watching us right now online. You never know who's watching from where, right? But like Leslie said, when you do leave, do come back. We need those skills to be proudly African, all right? But all the best, guys. We've got 4 teams that are coming up. We have South Game, we've got Photosynthesis, we've got Attribute, and Skinny Boy, right? And they will come in that order. I just want the next team or pitcher to be ready to come to stage as soon as the other one finishes, so that we go through all the pitches. We'll still get to hear from our sponsor as well a little bit later on. And obviously, Robin from IT Think will also have some words for us a little bit later on. But this is it. Comes down to this. And South Game, the stage is yours.
Sanbanani, good morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. I don't know how this is supposed to go. Am I supposed to do my PowerPoint here, or I'm just... Okay. How's everyone feeling? How's the festive? Everybody's good? I'm nervous, I really am. Okay, great. So my name is Avuzwa Njongwana. I am from South Game Studio. It's a gaming studio led by 3 young black women. I'll take you through to just our story on how we ended up being incubated by Tsimologong. Sit down. Oh, great. So we started out at IT Think Academy, and we were taking their program for gaming, Introduction to Gaming. So I came from being a cloud and a self-taught dev, Android in self-taught Android developer to a cloud engineer. So I went into gaming because my sister was just like, no, just give it a try and see if it works out for you. And so we got into IT Think, and that's where we formed our group, South Game Studio, and we went into Fakugesi last year, and we won the hackathon. We came out third winners. And our vision for our company was telling African stories through gaming, and also telling the impact that women had back in the days, and doing that through gaming and finding a better way of telling our stories through gaming and seeing how that can actually come about. So we got incubated with Timulukong till this far. We started off at the beginning of this year, I think around April, if not Feb. And this is how far we've come. Yeah, that's just about us. And the one game that we're building is called Sizwe, and Sizwe is a teen girl who is going to gain the king's trust, Shaka Zulu. She's starting off at Shaka Zulu, which is from KZN. So she needs to learn the history that women had back then in KZN, but also she needs to fight Ibuto, Liga Shaka Zulu, so that she can actually move on to the next level. So each level of the game is on the 9 provinces of the country. And she gets to dress in different attires, starting with the Zulu attire and going into Tswanas, and depending on the cultures that are in that province, right? So that's what we're currently building right now, and it's a 3D game. Next slide, please. And so this is the team. We are all co-founders, and we've got Nompumelelo Kubai. She's a VR and a program dev, and she does also the graphic designing of the game. And we've also got Dinigo Mosiliki. She's also a programmer, a game dev, and she also does our business management. Also, if you look up in the screen, because we incorporate so much of our African history, we actually named Sizwe through the Ethiopian alphabetical language. So at the far right over there, that is Sizwe just in Ethiopian, because we're trying to incorporate as African and telling our stories through African ways. And this was us during COVID. I think COVID was already its high peak at the time when we're doing the game jam. Yeah, so this is what we got up to. And that was the birth of Sizwe, actually. Next slide, please. So these are some of the characters that we've built. As you can see, we've got the Swati outfit, we've got the Pedi outfit, we've got the Tswana outfit, and the Xhosa outfit. So where are we going at South Game Studio? Where do we see ourselves? We want to build authentic games that tell our story, and telling them through our perspective as women, and how we lead as women, right? We want to build games where women can feel comfortable knowing that you can actually build and lead as a woman. So that's where we're going. But also building fun and yet educational games where kids and even adults can learn about our history and learn about where we come from. We're also building games that represent women and the roles that they played back then. So that's where we are going as South Game Studio. That is the road and the journey that we're taking, and this is how we're taking our journey. Next slide, please. And yeah, that is it about South Game Studio, and we are currently in the build to see what we've actually done. I don't know if you guys have actually checked out our gameplay and tested our gameplay that side, but if you haven't, you're more than welcome to come into the Gaming Hub and check out how much we've come since Fakugesi last year, and I hope all the participants this year are really going to enjoy it just as much as we've enjoyed our journey with Timulukong. Thank you very much.
Can we have photosynthesis, please?
Hello, good people. I go by Owl, yes, the bird. And this right here is my best bud, Kushal. In collaboration with Photosynthesis, we are here to introduce to you guys our game that we made with me, Kushal, and a friend of mine. She couldn't make it today. Rampage of the Decoy Droids. So our game is a first-person shooter where you take control of a world-renowned and, to be honest, a little psycho mad scientist, Lisa von Sparks. So you go around shooting enemies. These droids are going around multiplying because, as droids do, they malfunction. And your job as Lisa von Sparks is to destroy the enemies before they overcrowd and take over. Right. And as Photosynthesis, we are collaborating on another project that we call Road Rage, and I'll give that over to our team as soon as we can. What's going on with the slides? Oh, yes. This is the gameplay of the first draft of our game. This is what we consider as a prototype as a team. I'll give over to Kushal to explain the mechanics.
Hey guys, I'm just gonna give you a quick run through of the mechanics that we've got in Rampage of the Decoy Droids. So we wanted the game to be a really fast-paced, punchy shooter. So what we've got here is some mechanics to go along with that. We've got a whole bunch of time-bending mechanics and fast-paced gameplay with a whole variety of weapons, including a sniper, shotgun, and some other weapons. We've got some cool stuff like wall running, as you can see on here. We've got some stuff like a time rewind that lets you rewind your position in time. And we've got some other awesome stuff like the time shield, which stops bullets as soon as they enter your range, freezing them in time. It's a really awesome game, and it's really fast-paced. And we've got a whole bunch of other stuff coming for you guys that we've got planned. We're planning to take on this game with a co-op mode, even expanding to a multiplayer mode, a campaign, and some VR DLC, which we really want to get out to you guys so we can give you a really awesome sci-fi experience. So yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed. You can play the prototype on our itch and check it out in Fakugesi.
And that is just one part of what photosynthesis is about. We're not just a video game studio. We're actually a collaborative effort to, bridging the gap between the skills in the gaming industry and making us one thing and one collective, and hoping to achieve these great things that, you've heard earlier about the benefits of being in the video game industry. So taking you into our next project, which is my personal favorite because this is my passion project, actually. Starting off, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Nico Kekana, and I'll be taking you through Road Rage Drag Wars, my personal favorite drag racing game that is going to be available to you guys next year. So just a little bit about the game. This is how the game is essentially going to be looking for you guys. And it's very, very cool. As I'd like to explain it a bit further. I wish I had a video, but this is the screenplay, and Danai will just take you on how the mechanics of the game are going to be running.
Hello, my name is Peter, and a quick run through of how the game is going to work, right? So it's going to be a local, also online game where you compete with your friend. Let's say you don't have data, and your phone is low on data. Now you need data, right? You log on to, well, I know I'm saying data. This is kind of a pitch to MTN. Hopefully they are also watching this. So if you need data, you and your friend will just compete against each other, complete certain objectives in the game, like perfect gear shifts and avoiding traffic near misses that accumulates to the data you're going to get at the end of the race. And basically what we want is to have more of a South African aesthetic to it. So that's why we have Dexes, Quantums, VWs, and we're going to associate each car, so the cars themselves are characters. Each car will be associated to, I would say, common stereotype of people you would see driving that car. So we also have this called the rage meter, which is as you're driving towards the end and your rage meter fills up, you press it, and it's basically Nitros, where we're gonna have the animation. If it's a taxi, the boot opens, people are throwing out luggage. We're throwing out luggage. So that way we lose the weight and then we go forward. So with each variation, we want to have a story mode where you'll be traveling around South Africa, just seeing the sites from Jozi to PTA, the Cape Union buildings, to Cape Town, Table Mountain. And that's the second game we're working on.
Taking you a bit more into Road Rage Drag Wars, we have a story mode that is going to be implemented where we have Geldfontein and the city district, where we have our gangsters literally have Johannesburg upside down right there. It's going to be a fun game. We're hoping to have it released by next year. The project is still in its pre-alpha stages. We're still working really hard to make sure that all the mechanics work and everything that we envision for this game actually comes out at the end. And that is it from us. We have been Photosynthesis. Thank you. Oh, so sorry. My final speaker, Lesedi.
Yeah, hello guys, I'm Lesedi Shibambo. And I wanted to add that we are in collaboration with Kushal and Al, as well as some guys from animation to create this game. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you.
All right, can we have Attribute coming onto the stage now? Let's give him a round of applause.
Oh, okay, there we go. That's weird. But so I understand it more of as a pitch, so I'm gonna go like commercial with it. There's also a short bit of time, so the content's gonna be cut. But our game is basically Fat Pack Joe, and the design philosophy is easy to pick up, hard to master. And we came up with that design philosophy because we're looking at the South African gaming market, or Africa as a continent, per se. So if you think about it, or if you know, we have less than 800,000 consoles shipped into the country. So we're not talking just households, we're talking warehouses as well, and the ones that are still in store. And our population is like 60 million, right? So if you're ever gonna say gaming market, what do you mean when it's less than 1% of the population, right? And when the games there are just casual, not competitive enough, not challenging enough, then how do you expect the people to become passionate about gaming? Because if you think about it, if you are a gamer and you're here, you're most likely passionate about games because of the skills you've developed playing games, and those skills were developed because there was a great challenge, right? So that's where we're going with our game. We're designing something that's sort of easy to pick up so that, the South African people or the African people can get into it and try it out. And we're trying to scale the difficulty in a way where they learn some skills that can, allow them to feel competitive, to feel competent in some sense. And while we're at it, try to start an esports, right? And sort of how we've went about that commercially into going into an esports is that we've designed a skin system. So players are able to express themselves a number of ways. And what that opens up as an opportunity is that you can try to collaborate with some brands that are into esports or sports of some sorts. Like Red Bull, for example, they're into esports. You tell them, I'm making a South African game, and this South African game is gonna be competitive for the South African gamer. So think about it. Online gaming is international, right? But if you run into a gamer in South Africa, what are you most likely to hear? I play FIFA, right? And you don't just play FIFA alone, you play it with your friends. And it's usually local. they are online gamers, but they're not as many as the local gamers. So what our game also allows people to do is, without our notice, they can just turn on their Bluetooth and connect and start competing in that sense. So when we endorse or just look into building an esports, we might find that there are players who are very competent at the game and have already started competing or made their smaller markets. And what we looked at as an example is how Smash Bros made esports as we know it to this day, right? How did that culture start up in terms of doing that? So our game aims at making a culture and collaborating with brands and all sorts of people, like people into celebrities as well, trying to put skins that are celebrities in the game, trying to get it marketed that way. And our monetary system is also tied around that same system. So trying not to overexert ourselves. So people can buy those skins, and that's how we will make a commission. And looking at how many customers we have, we can probably start making projections. I know I was businessy about it, but that's what I do. Done.
Oh, that was great. Another round of applause, guys. So I understand we had 4 pitches, but Skinny Boy isn't here today. But I'm pretty sure our partners at Telkom, Future Makers, are very happy about this. You guys can really be very happy to partner with such bright minds. I really love what I heard here from all 3 teams. I know that our partners will come on stage and tell us a little bit more about their involvement as well a little bit later on. But I do want to call Robin Blickers from IT Think right now, just to take us through. This is the man, the incubator that you know. So he's one of the co-founders of IT Think. So Robin, stage is yours.
Thank you, Tony. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here today. The purpose of my session now, quickly, it won't take very long, I promise, is to just give the participants of this game jam an overview of what the theme is and what that means for them before they participate and commence trying to build their prototype. The theme for this game jam is something uniquely African. What does that mean? Many of us have played African video games and have played video games from across the globe. But very few of these games, right, are genuinely capturing the rich tapestry of art, culture, storytelling, and mythology that comes from Africa. So there is games, right, that we've seen come out from the African continent, from the world. But none of them really touch on the phenomenal, rich history and stories that come from the continent. And we want the Game Jam participants today to come up with something that is uniquely African, that is capable of telling the African story. We are very clear about this at IT Think and at Simologong, that we want to see transformation in the gaming industry, and we want to start to see representation in the gaming industry. And this is a part of that journey, to try and start to create more content that is representative and that is exciting, that will capture the minds of people from across the world, but inhabits the essence of Africa. And therefore, the theme, as I mentioned earlier, is something uniquely African. And that must be the unique selling point, the value proposition, and the catch, the key that will unlock value for your game and your creative idea. The actual game jam will start tomorrow at 9 a.m., but you have as much time as you like before then to sit down and think and creatively conceptualize how you plan to go about undertaking this particular challenge. I wish all of the participants the best of luck, and I hope that I get to see some exceptional ideas and concepts come out from these participants. Thank you very much. And over to you, Tolly.
So much, Robin. So while the guys were busy pitching here, you might have seen some of the videos on the big screen there. I know that there was quite a big group that tried to make way so you can get a glimpse of what's happening on the screen. So what we decided to do is to just play those trailers again for each studio. So I'll walk off screen so that there won't be anyone in front of the big screen. For those who can't see, if you can just move the chair as well, yeah. I'll move away with the chair as well so that you get a nice good look at the big screen as we go through the trailers for each studio. Just a round of applause, guys, for the great minds and what we're about to see as well. And yeah, I shall take all of these with me. Awesome stuff. That was great, right? Just in closing from me, of course, none of this would be possible if it weren't for, some visionaries. Those visionaries also include our partners at Telkom Future Makers. I see Mateve is here. What I will do is call a powerhouse of 3 women that are going to come here on stage. These visionaries are going to come and close things off for us. Where's Joy? Mawela Joy is here. I see him. Leslie Donna Williams, our CEO, is also here. And, of course, from Telkom Future Makers, Mateve as well. Let's give him an astounding round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. This is it.
Cool. So you guys have heard from me, but what I didn't say earlier, and which is super, super important to me, is, and I chatted a lot about corporates early on. Corporates also, I gave them a few things that corporates love speaking about, but don't always get it right. 4R art, 21st century skills, but innovation is also a mainstream topic. But to be honest, not a lot of spaces are kind of risk averse. There's a corporate has to actually, there's a lot of loops you need to hop through, and failure is often tougher in a corporate space than with us startups. And for me, this is the awesomeness of Telkom Future Makers, that you're not only our founding partner of Tsimologong, which, believe me, at that time when people spoke about what we want to do, everyone thought we're crazy, and this was 5 years ago, and here we are, Tsimologong still standing together. But especially in the digital creative space, a lot of corporates have told us they want innovation, they want R&D, but really want to come on board at the developmental phase because it's so high risk. And here we are, Telkom standing with us again, solid, firm partner. Thank you once again. And it's awesome to be back in year 2 of the Jam.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. We are absolutely very excited to be part of this. Looking at the videos from last year, I'm actually very overwhelmed by how much you guys have come. Skinny Boy, Game, Fat Joel, Pack. I remember South House. I remember when we first did this last year, and it was just a concept, I think, at the time. And so for it to be here and for it to be another round and seeing people who are hungry to innovate, to be creative, and to solve real problems is really, really encouraging. And I think all I just want to say to you guys is take this weekend, let it count. It definitely does count. It may seem like a small step, but it's not. And I know that it's going to grow exponentially over time. Thanks again, Tsimologong, for having us and just, working alongside us. It's really amazing. Thank you.
So this is the actual mama of Digital Content Hub.
Oh, mama. I guess, yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. We're excited to have you here this year. The bearer of good news. Telkom has come on board again this year. The main objective for this hackathon, or Jam, whatever we call it, is we use this as a talent scout platform. So last year we were lucky enough to scout 3 talented studios that have now been incubated at Tsimologong as part of the Telkom Tsimologong Gaming Hub. And this year again we are looking for 3 more studios that will benefit from a 9-month incubation program. So I hope you guys are excited about that. You will be stuck with us for 9 months. And also we've got prizes for our winners. The first prize is 100,000, and we've got a second runner-up prize, which is 80,000. And the first runner-up, and then second runner-up will win 70,000. So this prize is not money for your sneakers or for your lifestyle. We really want you to invest in your studios, to invest in development of your games. And we are going to follow up on this. We are going to make sure that you're putting this money to good use. I think Telkom, one of their objectives is to make sure that you are future makers, as the, the company logo kind of, it's self-explanatory. So we want you guys to build your future. So please put this money to good use, and we're looking forward to seeing you here next year, and all the best to you guys. Thank you.
Just a quick one. So if you were here last year, you'll probably realize that we've increased this amount quite a bit. But it's going to go towards your business. The idea is that you should be able to register a business. Like what Joy was saying, it's not money for sneakers or a car, whatever the case is. But it's really for you to think about how do you develop your business further. And please do not forget about the business part of your game, because I think games are fun, but at the same time, it should be a viable commercial business. And I think that's why the incubation is so critical, that you're signing up for both. You're signing up for both the hackathon, the prize, as well as the incubation to work on your business. Yeah? And we follow up. So I know like who's doing well, who's a problem child, and who's not. I know that. So yeah, all the best.
She's got access to market. Just a reminder of that. We want to publish.
Another round of applause, guys. Yeah, with the dress sense and expensive sneakers and all that stuff, boys, the money's not going to go to that, eh? So it's gotta get back into the business. Earlier on, I was talking about in the beginning, commercializing this, like owning and commercializing it. This is what we're talking about, right? To make sure that you guys reinvest in yourselves. And yeah, the sky's the limit. Listen, we have come to the end of our program today. Just one announcement to make. We are going to be moving up to just outside of the deck. Upstairs, everybody is invited to come through for our cocktails and sundowners. Food will also be served there. And yeah, I mean, if there are ideas, I know where creatives are, there are always ideas flowing. So let's exchange ideas and let's see what else we can build from this moment on. And today is just the beginning, by the way, so all the best to you guys. It's just the beginning of the Jamz, only the opening. So I know you guys have got a hectic week coming ahead, so all the best to you guys. And many thanks to Mate as well for coming through. And yeah, my name is Tolly B, and this has been our opening of this year's Fakugesi 2022 Video Game Jams. Thank you so much.